morning. Blessings to you, beautiful people. I'm Vernetta Holmes, spiritual leader here at Unity Church of Light, and we're in St. Charles. So look us up after all this rigmarole is over and come visit us. We believe in one power and one presence in the universe, and that's God. And knowing that piece of truth will give you the stamina to make it through this adventure that we're all sharing together on this earth plane. I have faith in that truth. How about you? Let's begin our service with the daily word. Take a deep breath and relax and let these words be your words. It is a great one for today. World peace. Peace in the world. So take a deep breath, relax, and let's listen. I contribute to peace in the world. What a great affirmation. I contribute to peace in the world. When I learn of conflict in my community or in the world, my response may be frustration, sadness, or anger. If I have those feelings, I remember that I am more than merely human. I am a living expression of God, heir to all that God is. I use my divine faculties of wisdom, understanding, and love to create the abiding peace that is my birthright. So centered in peace, I realize that every person is as much an expression of God as I am. As differences dissolve in a way that transcends human understanding, I come to oneness with all the world's people. And I let this realization shape my response to every person and every situation in an awareness of my oneness with all people. My thoughts, my words, my actions contribute to the peace in the world. John 17:22 reads, "The glory that you have given me, I give them, so that they may be one as we are one." Jesus talking to his indwelling spirit, to the Father within. I love that daily word. It's perfect for today. I contribute to peace in the world. Yes. This morning, I want to give you a little bit. I read an article. Trying to remember as I stand who it was, but anyway, I read an article and it said, the human consciousness fears what it cannot control. Anything different from the norm is scary to the preservation of the alleged status quo. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? This is what we have been experiencing the past few months, and it goes against everything we're used to. Sure, there has been other experiences, such as 9/11 and the Vietnam War, where great numbers of our loved ones made transitions. But this is now, and you know, we kind of think, well, this is now. This is the United States. How dare this happen here in the United States? I know, I hear some of you thinking that very thing. experience rode in so fast, of our human self, we were not able to process it in that moment. So a great fear came over a lot of us. Yes, I put myself in that number too, but not for long. You know, it's all right to fear, but the thing is, don't wallow in it. One thing I think we've learned just by this experience, that fears and worries have no power to solve anything, or this would be gone. Fear and worry, you know what they do? They block the creative barrier. They block our flow, and we feel separated from our connection to our indwelling spirit. Don't make your home in a place of fear. We say every Sunday there is only one power and one presence in the universe. What are you choosing today? Faith is the one power and presence, or are you choosing fear that holds you in a state of chaos? Donald Curtis, he's an author. One of his books is New Age Understanding, and there are several other very, very good books. And he says fear comes from the belief that there's an external power, from the belief that there could be, and now this is what I like. Stop right here. I like the word could. Not there is, but there could be. You know, when we put that like that, could means, well, maybe. Could means you could have stored it down in your subconscious in the storage bin. But you probably want to think in terms of it's not true when we use that word could. So, going back to the text, he says, so fear comes from the belief that there is an external power, from the belief that there could be some condition out there that would do us harm or keep us from our good, keep us separated from our Creator. Once you get that belief deep inside, it's hard to shake. Seems very real, doesn't it? I'm sure to some of us out there today, it seems very real. But those of us who have been coming here, hearing this truth, we know that that's not the truth. And once we shake up and dig up that belief, fear doesn't stay with us very long. Maybe it comes and enters in and goes right out. Because we know that fear constricts, fear depresses, and the number one thing that we need to remember is that where there is fear, fear does not heal. You have to look at fear, dissect it, to realize it has no truth in it. If you take the time when that fear arises and sit down and ask the questions, not out there, you're asking in here. What control does it have over me? What power does it have over me? Is it greater than the Christ Spirit that is within me? No. No, it's not. And therefore, you can say to that fear, okay, I hear you, but it's all right for you to go now. I have no need for you here. There is only the one presence and the power in my experience. Charles Fillmore and Cora, they wrote a book called Teach Us to Pray. Anyone read that? I hope everyone's reading it because I think it's, well, not think, it is one of the books we're using in a class right now. Teach Us to Pray. And they wrote, we live in a world where fear is taught as essential to safety. To begin with, what are we told as an infant? To fear God. And in the same breath, we are told to fear evil in all its forms. So, crammed in our minds is the thought of fear in the same scenario with God, when there are two entirely different meanings attached to that. Don't you love the human language? The English language. It has words with double meanings. To fear God means to be in awe of the magnificent of spirit. To be in awe of the magnificent of spirit. And when we're taught to fear experiences, to fear evil, things that kind of, first of all, in God there is no evil. Because one power, one presence. We're not going to give power to any entity of evil. There's no such thing as evil. It's in the minds of man. If we turn our thoughts from doing deeds that are harmful to one another, then there would be only love. Evil would dissipate. It would disappear. So, we have images working in our mind night and day. Images crammed with fear. Images that tell us to expect only the worst. Where is your attention focused? I know I'm not going to place mine on fear. Whenever I hear someone talk about being fearful, I say, take it and look at it from another direction. We may be in the midst of a humongous message from the universe. And that message may be, quit feeding me all this hatred, all this friction, all this distrust, all the stuff that goes on when we turn on our televisions. It's a thought, isn't it? When we say we believe in one power, one presence, we can't keep fears from slipping in. Like I say, we have our moments when we're caught off guard. Usually it's when we let our resistance down and we're not focused on what we're thinking, and we let our thoughts go anywhere, any path, any direction. You ever do that? But the thing about it is, we live in a world of experiences and appearances. Things will always happen in this universe, but our reaction to them does not have to give them power. Do you realize how much power a couple months ago, before those of us who are praying folks kicked in with our faith faculty, do you realize how much power went into the thoughts of fear? And how gigantic it seemed to us, this thing called fear. Realize where you are placing your focus. You can always change it. You can always change it from fear of an appearance or an experience, to faith in the power of Spirit to hold you and lift you through that experience. So, faith. What is this faith that can help us? What is this faith that can place our feet on solid ground? Co-founder of the Unity Movement, Charles Fillmore, said, "Faith is the highest expression of belief or confidence." If that's so, then why don't we use it? Whenever you experience fear, examine it. Don't just stuff it down. Examine it, and then ask, is it greater than God? Is it more powerful than Spirit? If your answer is yes, then I imagine you're going to stay in that state of fear. But if you believe in the divine energy in and throughout all creation, that energy carries with it many attributes such as faith, the ability to see beyond the appearances to the truth of all things. Then you believe all things are possible in spirit, and that this too shall pass, because the energy that is within us, which is divine, surpasses all dis-ease. Wow, gathering support for this lesson. I want to share with you some information from an article based on a book, Trust in the Goodness of God by Mary Crefella. And if you really lean into spirit and trust, then this is what will lift you out of anything going on right now. And it is, in everything I have faith in God. No matter what negativity arises during the day regarding yourself or someone you love, choose, that's a big word, choose to keep this one thought active. In everything, I have faith in God. Jesus Christ showed in a powerful way through his own manner of response the vital importance of right reaction to every circumstance of life. When he was confronted by the Pharisees and those who were trying to get rid of him, and those religious leaders, what did Jesus do? He persistently moved forward, having faith in that which he said sent him. Wow. I love that. I love that. We have an example. We have the protocol. All we need to do is make a choice to follow that, the one who came to show us the way, or to succumb to the world and the fear therein. Regardless of the undesirable occasion, negative feelings or activity in evidence, you can meet each one with a quiet insistence that it need not remain or need not be given a place of importance in your life and in your mind. Yes, I know there may be times when you're literally surrounded by opposition to your belief in healing, or inwardly filled with arguments against the possibility of realizing wholeness. It is in such instances that you can remember and follow the example given by Jesus Christ. You can repeatedly turn away from all that is negative and give your attention to your faith in God. For me, that's the key. If you're facing a physical challenge, focus your attention and belief on spirit, not on the challenge. That's a big thing to do, but you know what? When you do that, belief in the Spirit's healing power within, it knows how to restore the wholeness that is already in you. Trust, go forth in faith, knowing God's love and wisdom is at work in you now. That's a good affirmation. God's love and wisdom is at work in me now. That's a good one to sit and repeat over and over until it's down deep in your soul. You have the choice of where to put your focus. You know that, don't you? Even things that have already occurred, you can choose faith over fear. And know that God's presence and power is active in that experience. So there's nothing to fear, because there's only that one power and that one presence. Choose faith over fear that divine energy is and was present and moving over all the details of your experience, bringing order to everything in your life. If you have fearful thoughts of the future, again, take hold of the idea and say to yourself, I choose faith over fear because I am not alone in this experience. If you haven't done the work, though, this is all going to be a time of fear for you. But when you know what and who you are, and know that there is nowhere you can be where spirit is not, you would begin to use the tools that are available to you. See, it takes peace. It takes sitting down and letting that peace flow. It takes love. Love is a great harmonizer of all. Love pulls everything together and gives it that special touch. And wisdom, always need wisdom. Because it is through wisdom that you'll know what to do and you'll do it. Perseverance and strength to stand against that mighty force that may be coming at you. But you know what? Just as the seas parted for Moses, so will that mighty force of wind. The most powerful tool you have in your tool belt is prayer and taking time to sit and feel the presence within. What are you choosing today? When you take the time to go within and feel that presence and power, you'll choose faith over fear every time. Charles Fillmore also said, one must have faith in one's spiritual capacity and depend on it in the face of adverse appearances. In other words, you have to get to know what's in you, what the power within is. And you have to build it up, trusting and leaning and knowing the truth of it is you have the spiritual capacity to move through any adverse experience. So let's practice how we can build up this attribute of faith. And we do that by getting to know what we are. And we do that by prayer and meditation, taking time to dwell with our indwelling spirit. So I want you to just take a deep breath right now as we prepare our minds and our hearts for prayer. And there's we're still affirming the prayer from Silent Unity. And I think this is excellent to take us into this time of peace and into this time of prayer. So take a deep breath and release. And listen to these words. I know that God is love that has no end and a power that knows no bounds. God's healing power of divine life is restoring, healing, and revitalizing our world in this very moment. When we pray, we let go of any fears or anxieties. And we affirm that we are all safe, healthy, and protected. I bless all those who support me in maintaining vibrant health. I express divine life in all I think, say, and do. I bless our global family with radiant health, peace of mind, and abundant love. So right here, right now, join me in envisioning our universe, surrounded and wrapped and enfolded in the light and love of Spirit. Knowing that between us there is no separation. We are all one, and we live and move and have our being in the essence of all that God is. And so in this moment we take time to come apart a while, to come apart and focus, place our attention on the Spirit within. And so we make this inward journey, going deeper and deeper within the recesses of our souls, feeling ourselves coming to that point of knowing there is only one. And so we step into that light, and that light is filled with peace. That light is filled with unconditional love. And so we take a moment to sit by the still running waters and rest and trust in this peace within. And in doing so, we are regenerated and fulfilled and so we rest in the quiet. And as we prepare to return to this room, wherever you may be at this moment, just know with every step forward, you are faith-filled and faithful. Because we know in the knowledge of God and the knowledge of my divine nature, I lead my life by faith. The only evidence I need of fulfillment ahead is the knowledge of my oneness with God. I faithfully place one foot in front of the other as I move through this experience here on this earth plane. And I am grateful that I make no step alone. So thank you, dear God, for your presence. Thank you for the awareness of this truth. Thank you for the awareness that your energy moves in and through us and expresses out into the universe. And we lean into that truth, placing our faith in spirit. So for this and all things, dear God, we just say thank you. Thank you in the name of the living, loving Christ moving in and throughout all creation. And it is so, and so it is. Yes. What are you choosing today? Faith or fear? Oh, come on, I know you're choosing faith. How could you not?